Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shay goes by.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out y'all.
Right, man. Monday we brought in a ringer with us this morning.
You got a ringer.
We got a ringer in here. Have to be.
I like it.
Yeah, she's the deputy editor of the Grio.com. Graduate from Harvard University.
Thanks, guys.
She won the Harvard Foundation for Race Relations Student Leadership Award. Was named by FM Magazine as one of Harvard's 15 most interesting seniors. Oh, she's done a lot, Heather. She has a master's degree in broadcast journalism from Northwestern.
Wow, y'all building me up this morning.
Ooh, producer, broadcast talent, journalist. She's all of that. The one and only Natasha Alford is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
It's like a dream come true.
How you been, Natasha?
Great. Busy with news.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Woo, did you watch the debate?
Yes, I did. I was up in Harlem, crowded restaurant up at Harlem Tavern, and just lots of, head shaking. Kind of hard to believe that this is American politics right now.
Why? Why is that? Why do you say that?
I just think you imagine the standard is going to be so high.
Right.
You grow up as a kid, you never would think the mudslinging that's going on. Just the insults are so low. And then you wonder, when are we going to talk about the policy? When are we going to talk about the things that actually impact people on a day-to-day? So, yeah, it's not, I think, a proud moment for a lot of people. But, you got to stay engaged.
What do you think were the highlights? What was Donald Trump's strong point and what was his weak point?
I think his strong point is that he's a bully. Like, he's a good bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could see him, like, lurking in the background as she was talking.
Yeah,
right.
stalking her.
Like, just waiting to say something to, kind of throw her off or...
Pounced on her.
Yeah. But that's not presidential. That's not what I would hope my leaders would be like.
Yeah.
And that's sniffing.
Yeah. What was
Sniffing
that
is
about?
kind of
Keep it a
controlling.
drug test, I think.
It was just like, get some Mucinex or something. Like, So, yeah.
What about Hillary? She seemed like she was on the defense the entire time. How do you think she fared?
Yeah, I think I like that she came out positive, talking about her vision for America, right? She definitely took the gloves off. She had her insults, she had her case for why Trump wasn't it. But she talked about an America that was inclusive and talked about how we're going to approach ISIS and, really talked about how to include the Muslim community. Like, just things that Trump could only do the negative, but she actually had kind of a positive spin on it.
The response to you've been in politics 30 years and ISIS is here because of your failed foreign policy in the Middle East. Do you think she responds well to that at all? Or...
I don't know.
How does she respond to that? Does he have a point?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a point that it created a vacuum when, they left the country, when troops pulled out. But there's so much more to it, and people like to pick and choose history. They want to focus on 1 year or one set of years. But the reality is this has been building for a long time. So, yeah, I think that, she definitely has some responsibility. She's talked about regrets and things that she would do differently. But, it's easy for Trump to quarterback and say what should have been done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's not presidential in my opinion, and a lot of other people agree.
Natasha Alford is here, deputy editor of the Grio.com.
Just I feel like everyone's always going to be talking about this campaign until November 8th, and it's a very emotionally charged one, and people are saying they feel like they're choosing between two lesser evils.
Yeah.
So do you feel that way, or are you genuinely for Hillary Clinton?
So, I have to stay open-minded, right, as a journalist, because I'm dealing with people who have different opinions. I try to kind of keep mine out of it in a sense. But I have talked to people who feel like, her story, there are legitimate complaints against Hillary Clinton, especially when it comes to the black community, right? And Trump even jumped on some of that a little bit. He's like, okay, you're calling me out for racism, but at the same time, when you were running against Obama, you pulled out the dirtiest tricks in the book.
Yeah.
There were certain allusions to his race, or the fact that maybe he was only winning because he was black, or Jesse Jackson did that in South Carolina, she said at one point. So, yeah, I think that she's played dirty. Some people, have called her out on that. But there are some people who really stand behind her. And in the Black community, you've seen that difference. So Eric Garner's daughter, standing behind Bernie and being strong with Bernie, but then at the same time, his mother supporting Hillary Clinton. So there's kind of like a generational divide. And we've been covering that at the Grio. Just trying to represent diverse opinions and show that, when it comes to the Black community, not everybody thinks the same.
So with that said, to our listeners who may I'm sure they're all familiar with the Grio, but, for those who may not be, what is thegrio.com and what is its purpose?
Yeah, our purpose is to elevate the voices of African Americans, the stories that matter to us. What are the things that maybe you're not seeing on mainstream news that are affecting our community? So we cover news and entertainment and politics and, the fun stuff, but the serious stuff as well. And I think one of our strong points is our opinion section. We have some of the best writers, up and coming writers, people maybe that you haven't heard from, that give their take on what should happen in the Black community. When the whole Birth of a Nation scandal hit, we had, folks who were for it, who were against the movie. So we try to represent that diversity and give people a platform to talk about the things that matter. Because the truth is, there's still not enough diversity in a lot of the mainstream newsrooms, and you have to have a seat at the table. Shout out to Solange. In order to have your views represented. So, yeah.
Natasha, how can people reach you directly if you want to know more about thegrio.com? You can also hit her up directly on social media.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm on Twitter, Natasha S. Alford, but the Grio, we're everywhere. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Twitter is just at the Grio, and it's without the T, Grio. Grio, it stands for storyteller. It's an African term, but we tell stories, and, I love being alive at this time because I feel like we're hearing stories that you never heard before. Right. Ava DuVernay coming out with this documentary 13th, talking about mass incarceration and the history and connection to slavery. Again, people don't always put those pieces together. And so now we are able to tell our own stories, which I think is really powerful. And again, it's not just Black stories. This is America's history.
Stories.
It belongs to everybody. It's important for everybody to tune in.
Okay, you said your social really quick. You got to do a little slower. Go ahead.
That's Natasha S. Alford. S is for Sonia. Shout out to my grandma.
ALFORD.
Yeah.
And we got more stories to tell. We want to get your feedback on it. Celebrity Wire up next.
Yeah, yo. Amber Rose, someone put her in clapback mode, and I'll let you know what happened.
Shade 45.
It's the Celebrity Wire on Sway in the Morning.
And we are joined by Natasha S. Alford from thegrio.com. Make sure you check them out. Look at the latest stories. You go in there today, what would you see on the front page?
Oh, we're talking about Trump for sure.
Okay.
We're talking about that WWE fight that was called a debate last night.
Yeah, that was great.
We're also shouting out Solange. I mean, she got her first #1 Billboard 200. This is great for her. Her third studio album, A Seat at the Table. And she actually made history. So her and Beyonce having two #1 albums in the same calendar year. Only two other siblings have done that. So you got MJ and Janet.
Yep.
And then, ironically, Master P and Silk the Shocker.
Oh, wow.
Which is cool.
That's kind of dope.
Right?
Yeah.
Considering that Master P is all up in the interludes, giving his wisdom.
Yeah.
So, that's a big story. We're giving her a shout out for that over at the Grio.
Great album.
Thegrio.com. Make sure you check it out. Tracy, what else we got?
Rihanna, yo.
Rihanna.
One of our favorites. So, every time she gets into a headline-making relationship, that's always going to be fodder for the internet. Well, she posted something recently that's got everyone online just going crazy again, but it's a petty post. She put on her Instagram an image with the words, "None of my exes are married or in happy relationships, so it's safe to say that I wasn't the problem." LOL. Shots at Chris Brown, shots at Matt Kemp. We can even throw Travis Scott into there.
Common.
Common.
Oh, no. Common. So I'm thinking Serena. My bad.
You come. What? Add to my report. What happened with Common?
I'm sorry, Heather.
The nerve in this room today.
Yeah, just to fill you in, Natasha, Common is Heather's mental husband.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've been committed for quite a while.
He knows that. He's admitted it right here in this show.
That's totally fine.
Yeah,
That's kinda
Everybody
right.
has their own thing.
You want to cover that on the Grio.com? The
mental marriages.
Mental marriages and how dangerous they can be.
No,
to your
this
happiness.
is a good one though, Natasha. This works out good for him.
She's winking at me.
what the thing motivated Riri to put that? Although she is our hero.
Yeah, absolutely. I ain't got a damn clue.
Sometimes you get in your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, she's the baddest around, but she's
Right.
a person. I really just applaud how together a lot of these celebrities have to be. And they grow up in front of us. Think of how many petty, things you go through when you're kind of younger and figuring things out.
Right. And there's still humans that scroll through Instagram. They see a meme that makes them chuckle and really resonates with them. And they're like, you know what? This is how I'm feeling right now. I'm on my third glass or whatever. Let's post it up.
That's how it works.
And then the publicists are like, no.
Right.
Riri was having a moment, man.
Yeah, that's
She
what it was.
Like these bum ass dudes
Word.
just was like sin. And that's
Just like
it.
that.
That's it.
Eat that, right? Well,
Eat
someone
that.
else who was having a moment on Instagram, Amber Rose. So Amber, you know how she's been really pushing her slut walk. She's been defending it against a lot of detractors. And one of those detractors is Benzino. Benzino being the former founder of The Source, Benzino being a reality TV star. He's been going hard and saying how he feels like this is a really, really bad campaign for women to be a part of. He doesn't want his daughter involved. He even added Amber Rose. He said, you see what I'm saying? I never mentioned your name. I left it alone before you go judging me. He said, why don't you go back to sucking all those dicks? I'm not a hater. If that's how you came up, mama, more power to you. He says, he said, you're making young girls have a doo-doo brain. Who do you think 75% of your followers are? Yada, yada. He said the problem with your whore walk is it has no real meaning, and you're trying to mix a gay parade with a feminist movement, which no top feminist will ever follow, with a rape movement, which you never once supported any victim of rape ever on your page. He said, or your BS talk show, which I'm sure will be canceled soon.
Damn.
With slut shaming, which is stupid because you're dressing like a whore and complaining when someone says you're dressing like a whore. You're exposed and you're mad. So we know the clap back game of Amber Rose.
Wait, but how you rate that one, Natasha?
Oh, yeah, okay, that's not right.
Before you,
On that side of the ring.
He's saying Amber's mad. He sounds pretty mad to me.
Sounds angry.
I mean, I feel like he kind of proves her point a little bit by
Right.
pointing out her clothes and ripping her apart and saying she's sucking D. I mean, like, that's kind of the culture that she's addressing.
Yeah, he's saying that she's doing it by choice.
Right. I guess, is that a problem? I
mean,
know.
like representing herself
See,
like that.
Here's the real thing. We asked what sparked Rihanna's tweet.
Right.
What sparked that from him? Did he find his daughter at the walk or something? What happened?
Well, his daughter, he has a 19-year-old daughter. She wasn't at the walk, but his baby mama was at the second annual slut walk along with her son.
Right.
Now the
That's,
pieces.
yeah.
Okay.
Baby
The
mama.
emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
Despite
find out
the
where this
anger.
is coming from.
The anger.
He turned her slut walk to a hoe stroll. He was like, "This is a hoe stroll."
Y'all want to hear a little bit about the other side of the ring, though, with what she said?
She went in.
The
She
booty
went
and the
in.
finger queen.
Exactly.
All right, let's go.
She said, oh, Benzino, I swear you are a true scholar and poet with your choice of words. I should know. I've sucked the dicks of actual talented artists. I'm writing this for you to get more followers and, of course, give you all the attention you're asking for. I mean, we're Cape Verdean. We need to stick together, right? I know I'm just a dumb stripper, but I would love to invite you to come on an episode of the second season of the Amber Rose Show. Maybe you can perform something from your new album. Mona Scott is my right-hand bitch, so I'll have a convo of her to get you a little check as well. I'm going to look out for you, brother. No thank yous needed. Maybe you can open up for me when I go on tour, too. I'll be speaking at Harvard, Stanford, Syracuse next couple of months about rape culture, slut-shaming, body positivity, and sex positivity. I would like to cordially invite you and your beautiful 19-year-old daughter to come out and get educated. Slut Walk was such a success with 7,000 men and women showing up and taking a stand against ignorant slut-shamers like you. I really appreciate all of the extra press you've been giving the Amber Rose Foundation. We are forever indebted to you.
This girl is brilliant, man.
Came
You
with
gotta leave her
receipts.
alone. You gotta leave her alone.
Stop.
You gotta
She's
leave her
like,
alone. She
Cheers.
came. Some of the greatest came after her, and
Yep.
she just
Yeah.
and she was able to handle it. So you gotta. Some people you leave them
leave
in the
them alone.
alone
You leave them
to just-
alone.
And then she was just toying with them in that a little bit.
Right.
in the pocket too, like Barb in the shadow boxing.
Yeah.
She pulled out her whole itinerary. She was like, and I will be here and here. Like,
Right. That's not
That's
even
receipts.
the full. Right. That's not the full gauntlet. Though.
And I'll get you a check.
Right. That was the best part.
And the second season, that was just
Right.
like a little take that. She hit the puff note too.
She had to
You
take
gotta
that.
And I was
alone.
putting all
Gotta
caps,
leave her
yo.
alone.
That's how you can talk when you're a boss, though,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's her whole point. She's like, I am not just here to kind of serve other people's satisfaction or to be pretty. I'm going to talk. You don't necessarily have to like what I say, but that's my right to do so. You know,
Let her
whether you
live.
vibe with her or not. So
That's Natasha Alford
Yeah,
from
yo.
thegrill.com.
Okay, well, let's go back to speaking about a guy that many people consider the ultimate villain of the century, Donald Trump. And he had another recent scandal we all know that happened on Friday when this conversation dating back from 2005 before he did an interview of Access Hollywood leaked, and he was speaking in a very vulgar manner against women. Let's take a listen.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
Huge news there.
No, Nancy. No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. Yeah, that's her, with the gold. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
That might be your next president. You never know.
Oh my gosh. So the other male voice we heard in that video is that of Billy Bush. At the time in 2005, he was working for Access Hollywood. Fast forward to 2016, he works for Today Show. However, because of that video that was leaked, he has officially been suspended pending further review of the matter. It was completely announced, and it's being said that it's unclear if he will ever return to the broadcast world in general.
Why did they say they suspended him? What's the reasoning? Because of what Donald Trump said?
Exactly. And I feel like he was perpetuating his words.
How do you feel about that, Natasha? Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation when you're about to interview someone? We all been in this situation. You don't necessarily have a great rapport with them. You're trying to massage them, butter them up a little bit, get the energy right before an interview. And you kind of play along with some of the things they say. You try to join their rhythm. You ever experienced that?
yeah, absolutely. You're trying to, build that trust. Maybe you know the person, or when you don't know the person, maybe you co-sign, right?
Yeah. But the mics were supposedly when you put mics on, I said it's like in the boxing ring, they got a rule. Protect yourself at all times. Even when you're not looking, somebody might clock you. You knocked out, you lose the fight. You got a mic on, protect yourself at all times, right? So go ahead to your point. What you gonna say?
Yeah, no, because it's your name and your brand on the line, right? And nowadays everything there's receipts for everything. Every text message, people could be recording your conversation. So it was one thing if Trump was talking trash, and Billy was just sitting there like, even a chuckle. But he was co-signing all the way.
Yeah, he started that conversation on Homegirl on her legs.
Right.
They're talking about Nancy O'Dell, by the way, because he just says the name Nancy like it's just everyone knows. But the people on that bus knew. But this is Nancy O'Dell, a correspondent at the time for the entertainment channel. Yeah, he just said it so casual. Everyone's like, well, who the hell is Nancy? That's what I was wondering. So, yeah, they're talking about Nancy O'Dell.
Talking about Nancy O'Dell. Should Billy be fired, though?
2005, once again, and to Mike Mew's point, we did our political news this morning, and I asked the question. This happened so long ago, but he said, "Well, Donald Trump is running for president. Billy Bush is not.
Right.
He was having locker room talk. If anybody was, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's a little slap on the wrist, little suspension.
Slap on the wrist, suspension.
Little
It's to
suspension
calm
time.
everyone who's going crazy on social media. That's what it
Right.
is. It's the public. We are such a determining factor on the lives of others and their consequences.
Yeah.
And timing is everything. So he apparently just moved to New York to take this job, moved his whole family from LA. So he's kind of new. And then, I mean, it's hard out here. And then he got into that little spat with Al Roker.
That didn't work.
Which already kind of had, things on edge over there. So this is kind of strike number 2. And
Yeah, they'll pay him out his contract, though.
it's a lot to pay out.
Yeah. Hey, Natasha, I hope you enjoyed your time with us this morning.
This was awesome.
Yeah?
This was awesome.
We got to come back.
Absolutely. Definitely will come back.
And I appreciate your support as well.
Oh, for sure. I was at the One Shot screening.
Yes, you
You
were.
know what I'm saying?
And,
Shout out to Real Hip Hop. That was so awesome.
Thank you.
Seeing a platform for new and upcoming artists who want to just, share their stories and stuff. So I'm always here to tell stories. Hit me up if you have story tips.
That's what's
Check
up.
us out on the Grio.
That's what's
I'll
up.
be back.
You're doing a great job. Thank you, Natasha Alford.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, follow her on Twitter at Natasha S. Alford, okay?
It's Sway in the morning, only
On Shade 45.